Hello everyone. In today's video I'm gonna show you how to navigate season 1 actually, in the most efficient way. And I do believe my account is a good example of that. Bear in mind I'm not free to play, but neither a whale, okay? So I think my account is a really good example of how I navigated season 1, how I stick to my priorities, how I focused in what I had to focus on, okay? I'm making this guide now because I've seen, I don't know, it seems there's an influx of new players into the game. Maybe it's just my perception, but like in the COD Discord, I see like several people asking newbie questions, like pretty basic stuff, okay? So yeah, wanted to make this video anyways. It's gonna be a long one. Like it's gonna be a long one to be honest, because I'm gonna go over everything regarding season 1. Okay, like of course there's gonna be a few things that I will not touch in on, like for example how to exactly do every single behemoth. Okay, but you will see that I will go over heroes, over artifacts, over how to start strong in your new server, etc, etc. Strong in your new server, etc, etc. Okay, I'm gonna go from there to the very end of season on how to prep for Brinks of War, for example, and like give you some tips in if you should stay in your kingdom or if you should look to migrate out. Okay, so with that out of the way, what I'm gonna do right now is literally just open a new character on the freshest server there is, and yeah, I'm gonna show you a bit what you should do. So here we are loading. Bear in mind this server is 24 hours old already, which is not ideal for the simple fact that like people already have gained some power, etc, etc. Like ideally you wanna, like the younger the kingdom the better. I'm talking like if you can catch it the first hour, that's perfect. So first faction, okay? The only thing I'm gonna say is this. Here you need to make like an early decision, which only depends on, are you going for an archer main player? If you're gonna go full archers, then you start with Spring Wardens, and I'm gonna explain why later. If you're gonna go with any other troop type, just start with League of Order, okay? That's pretty much it. Why? Gawain is a good archer hero. Is gonna be your bread and butter for season 1. Is gonna help you in Behemoth. Is gonna help you in PvP. It's gonna help you in everything in season 1, okay? So you want to pick Spring Wardens because like the daily quests are gonna give you heart tokens, which is super important. Any other troop type, no matter if infantry, cavalry, or whatever, just go with League of Order. Why? If you're a cap or an infantry player, you still want a mage march, okay? Because there are situations where your infantry and cavalry cannot, like for example the second tier bear, you cannot do it with melee units. Like you can be the tank, but you cannot be caps because the purple circle in the ground is just gonna melt you. So you gotta have a backup march to take part in behemoths and to help you in PvP. Like if you're fighting between cities, you cannot go with caps. It just gets too tricky. Okay, so yeah, archer main, Spring Wardens, any other troop type, League of Order. Okay, so I'm gonna choose League of Order. I'm gonna skip the tutorial, you just do it, okay, but yeah. So now what do we have? This is our newly fresh account. Priority, Hall of Order, this is your building, okay? You don't want to upgrade anything else, you just want to keep smashing this. For example, now it requires me a level 1 mint, then I go with the level 1 mint. Next level, 5 minutes, okay? I'm gonna speed this up, it's 5 minutes of speeds, no problem, okay? Now we unlock this, okay? Let's just get the rewards. Be sure to get all those rewards, and we just keep grinding the Hall of Order, okay, because that's our priority. Okay, there's things that I'm not gonna do, and of course it's not gonna be, but yeah, you get the concept. Okay, the concept is increasing your Hall of Order. Okay, this building is the main priority for you, and it will eventually start asking you for other buildings that take longer and longer and longer. Okay, get the rewards, perfect. Now, another really important thing, okay, because if you check here on the rankings, you cannot see where is it, the alliance power. It unlocks in something called Hour Stone. The Hour Stone is a building that you need City Hall level 7 to unlock, and it shows you all the progress of this season, okay? So what we want to do right after we start the game is look at our Tamari's chat. The main reason is because alliances will be posting here their alliances invite. Okay, I'm gonna just rush this a bit so I can actually join alliances because I don't have the icon, and I will be right back. Okay, here we are. We just reached City Hall level 4, and we now have access to the alliance. This is one of the crucial parts, okay? We wanna look for alliances that have the highest power. So for example, this one, a Chimil, but it requires Russian, so this alliance probably will end up falling apart for an international one. Same with this one, Chinese. So you gotta look, like 26 mil is actually wild for 24-hour. Let me see the members. So yeah, this is what you wanna aim for. Okay, you wanna be in this alliance. Okay, you wanna be inside here. They already have a 450 carry power requirement. This is why it's so important to rush power at the start of the game. Okay, you just wanna rush it. You don't wanna wait for any event. You don't wanna do anything like that. You just wanna increase power, so you can join the strongest alliance in the server, or at least in your region. Okay, I'm gonna speak about how you can move between zones. Okay, but yeah, initially that's the most important thing. Grow power so you can get access to this alliance. What do alliances provide you? First of all, activity. So when you build the alliance building, where is it? Alliance center. This building has a unique function, which is, let's say for example, I don't know, we want to increase this building, okay? If we're an alliance, we will see the green icon, we press it, and we're asking for help to our teammates. Every single teammate that helps us is going to reduce the amount of time that the building takes, okay? So that's why it's so important to be in a good alliance. Another thing is spending. Every single time one member of your alliance spends some money, you will have some chests. I'm gonna show them on screen now, for example, on my main account. Those chests contain VIP points, speed ups, resources, gems, a lot of stuff that is useful for your account. So you wanna be really on an active alliance with some spenders ideally, so you can benefit from their purchases, okay? Excuse me. So that makes it pretty much like about alliance and power. Why you need to push power early in the game is to be on that alliance for the benefits that I mentioned. Now I'm gonna speak about two other things which are confusing for new players. Where is it? Okay, beginner's location. If you reach level 12, you're gonna lose it and you're gonna have to use another function that I will show. Okay, this pretty much works like this. Okay, let's say for example we are in Burning Lands, we're in this region. Okay, let's say for example we scout a way stronger alliance in Forgotten Lands or Nubola. What we want to do is ask with their leadership and see if they can grant us a spot on the alliance. If they do, then we just use this TP, and right now we just move zones, because you cannot join, like for example, an alliance in this zone from this zone. Okay, so that's why it is so important to use those TP efficiently. You can use these two to scout alliances. Okay, we can see here a 12 mil one. Okay, no. Here we can see Burning Lands, Novola. Okay, so pretty much we want to be in Burning Lands. That's the main alliance, that's a strong one, okay? Bear in mind, like, there's no limit on uses on this, so just feel free, like, you can roam around the map with this a bit. Just make sure that your last TP sends you to the zone you want to be. So ideally in this server, we will be in this zone to apply to that alliance, if we meet the requirements, okay? Now let's say you reach City Hall 12 and you want to switch zones, you don't have the access to the TP anymore. Then you need to use this feature, okay? It's called Resurgence. Okay, here you can see exactly what it does, okay? You can be an alliance, no scouts or legions deployed, Hall of Order level 12 or higher. Pretty much it TPs you to the chosen zone. It has a 3-day cooldown, but it will put 80% of all your legions as on the hospital, okay? So you just gotta bear in mind, but that's your way to move around zones when you are City Hall 12 or higher. Okay, that's pretty much your like first 24 hours of the game, how you establish yourself properly into the server, how you can be on the top alliance, and why it is important to be. Now, we need to make the next question, okay? What troop type do I want to focus on? This question is like, it's clutch, it's super important for your account, okay? Maybe you come from Rise of Kingdoms, maybe you come from Age of Empires or any other type of game like that. In those games, you can go multi-troop and there's no issue, okay? Because, like, at the end of those games, the PvP is pretty simple. You make murder ball, you smash murder ball, higher stats win. This is not the thing here, okay? Here we have 5 unit types: infantry, archers, mages, cavalry, and then we have the flying unit, which is indeed a repetition of those, but with a bit of a unique characteristics. I'm gonna go into my main account so I can show you exactly why the troop type matters. Okay, so here we are. To unlock the uniqueness per se of the troop, you need to have them tier 3 pretty much, okay? So if we check infantry, for example, here we can see exactly their stats, but for example here, March speed increases when approaching the target legion. After colliding, the target legion's march speed is reduced by 75%. So infantry apply a debuff to the move speed of the enemy. Increase engineering, another unique skill of them, is the best unit to build and destroy buildings. Each time the legion loses 3% of its units, their physical defense increases by 1.5, so the lower your troops, the more tanky you get. Your X-Men can launch counterattacks but only 50% of the counterattack damage to range units. Okay, another uniqueness of this game, there's range among the troop types, that's why it's so good. Cavalry. I'm gonna explain every single one because as a new player I assume you don't know exactly what those troop types does, but feel free to skip if you already know, okay? So caps, fastest march speed, but the most important skill. See, Primal Rage is a unique skill for cavalry for the Wilderburg faction. You increase by 5% the amount of sub wounds you get, but as well on the enemy, okay? Unyielding Rush, it's pretty much a charge, okay? So you see a target, you gotta have a bit of a distance, you charge in, the moment you connect with the enemy, you get your full rage bar filled, so you can cast your skill, okay? Here, extra, for each attack received from a ranged legion, the legion deals 15% more damage, max 25% for 10 seconds. So cavalry is a march designed to be a lot of burst, okay? So you see a target, you're gonna rush in, nuke it down, and then try to retreat, okay? And by the way, you take 80% less damage, but you don't deal counterattack damage. And last one, you can launch counterattack damage, but it only deals 50% of the damage, but that's if you're not applying the charge, okay? Let's go into the mages. Oops, not here, here. Mages. Ranged magic units can deal magic damage from a distance and provide magical buffs to friendly legions. Magic units can launch a counterattack when attacked by ranged units. Because it's range, they deal 100% counterattack damage, okay? They have the farthest range on the game. These troops, like the mages, have this like the largest range to hit. That's why so many people use them. They are easier to play and safer. If you play on phone, it's super recommended to use this troop type. Now, Satyr's Course grants a boost to one surrounding friendly legion every 3 seconds while in battle, increasing their attack by 20% for 15 seconds. Okay, now hear me out. This is unique to Wilderburg. If you're playing, for example, League of Order, which you should if you're playing mages, it's gonna be HP, and if you're playing Spring Wardens, it's gonna be defense, okay? Now, next troop type, archers. Wilderburg spearmen have a unique skill. So pretty much you don't have much except from, for example, dealing 100% counterattack, but the Wilderburg ones increase all damage dealt by 5%, which is huge, okay? For example, Spring Warden archers have a debuff on movement speed, okay? They have those types of things. Unique unit for the Wilderburg, Wyvern Riders. So it's marksman that flies, okay? So you can go over terrain. Their skills. You can fly over terrain. When launching a normal attack, 30% chance to increase HP by 2% and normal attack damage by 6%. Good buff. Bombing Run. This is unique. It was added recently to the game. So pretty much to destroy buildings in this game is not like in Rise of Kingdoms where you need to rally the flag and you have a duel. You pretty much win the open field and then you send your infantry and they will start smashing the tower. Every single troop type needs to be melee except the Wyvern Riders, which they can be at around this range, destroying the tower. So it's super useful in certain situations, okay? But yeah, so this is why it's important to choose your troop type, okay? Because depending on the troop type you're gonna choose, you're gonna decide on which heroes to invest and which artifacts to go for, which I will talk about later on, okay? But if you haven't decided that, you cannot invest on heroes, because you might invest in something and then it will just be complete waste. So Yeah, this is the most basic stuff. Now let's move to a tier maker. So I'm gonna show you what heroes I recommend for season 1 and which artifacts. Okay, here we have the tier maker for the season 1 heroes. If you check here, there's like few extra G2 heroes and G3, like those two, so those will not be ranked, okay? But I'm gonna make it like this, okay? I'm gonna rank one hero of each troop type on S tier, okay? The reason is because that's like literally the best hero for that troop type. After that, it's gonna come A, which is probably their pair to that hero, and then it's gonna be some B's and C's, okay? Because at the end, like, it doesn't matter, for example, that Lilia is stronger than Madeline if you're an infantry player. Because you're still gonna use Madeline, because Lilia with infantry doesn't work, okay? So that's why I'm gonna rank every single troop type on one tier. So let's start in order. Husk. Tier A. Why? It only works with archers. If you're an archer, like, the issue with this hero, yeah, for that reason I'm gonna actually rank it at B, okay? This is a whale hero. It unlocks from VIP, and you can count that it's spending like almost $300 or euros to unlock him, okay? Like, he's super expensive, and you really want him awakened, okay? So if you have him, he's super strong with Kinara, okay? But because it's like gatekeep on like such a high entry price, and later on the seasons it falls off a bit, just slightly, I'm gonna rank him at B. Thea. For season 1 specifically, is gonna be a B, but stronger than Husk in my opinion. Why? In season 1 you don't have many of the strong combos with her. It's a shield hero mainly, and it buffs your other hero. If your other hero is not that strong, the buff isn't actually, like, of course it doesn't like help that much. So for season 1 I'm just ranking her at B. Now if you want to work on her for future seasons, it's absolutely fine, because like on later seasons she increases a lot in value. Bakshi, it's gonna be an A, okay? This is the second best cap commander in season 1, which you will pair with your Emeris, which is the S tier cap commander on season 1. The Golden Rock, which is the pet you want to use with Emeris, is made for him. Like, it synergizes fully with the passion buffs. It's super important, and if you're a camp main, you really wanna go for Emeris. Like, it's literally my first hero that I'm gonna awaken, okay? Garwood. I'm gonna rank him at A. Why? I don't think he's like the most important infantry hero, and he falls off quite hard on the end game. But for season 1 he's decent. It has some extra utilities that people might not think of. For example, you want to trade merits to unlock the shop. Garwood Eliana is the best match out there. You want to, for example, garrison in Roots of War. In my opinion, Garwood is good. The reason being is because in Roots of War, you want to try to reinforce the list building so you can have more marches on the open field. Healing brings those slightly wounded to normal troops to then heavy wounded, so it just gives you more uptime to your building. But that's too tricky for a new player, so yeah, just keep it at A, okay? It's a decent infantry commander at A that comes from gold key, so you can probably at least get him 5111 fully for free. Indies, Gather. In season 1 you don't really want to use her for PvP, to be honest, and like, you won't have enough heads to make her relevant. Kinara, S tier. Best season 1 archer commander. If you get this with a Husk, you can literally be swarmed by 5 people and you're gonna literally melt them just from the counter-attack damage. With an Eco, almost the same. A little bit less counter-attack damage, but whoever you're targeting, it's literally gonna explode. So super strong. Lilia, S tier, yeah, I was thinking, but yeah, S tier hero mage. The issue with Lilia, okay, is that it's a pay to win hero. You cannot get it for free, okay? Now, the good thing about Lilia that differentiates her from Husk is that the 5111 Lilia is good enough for season 1, and if, like, for example, me, let's go into my account. So if we check my Lilia, she's 5122. Why I don't have her awaken? Because as a main cap player, I'm gonna be dropping her at some point. So I don't wanna go 300 euros deep into a hero that I'm gonna drop. But the 5122 it gives me so much value. Let me see if I look. PvP kills almost 2 million. Okay, for a 5122 hero. Now you might be wondering, why is her 5122 and not 5111? Well, with this hero, you will see an event that shows up that brings you the Infernal Flame. I really suggest you do, like, even if you're a low spender, try to get those 10 extra euros to get the extra skill so you can unlock her. So this event, you will see a following of quest. In order to get the bare minimum 10 points that requires you to unlock the Infernal Flame, you will need those 2 extra skills on your Lilia. That's why I did it, okay? But in my opinion, it was absolutely worth it. Like, this artifact is insane in Season 1, okay? So yeah, let's get back to tier list. So for those reasons, Lilia is so strong, okay? If it were like you really need to awaken her in all circumstances, I'd probably drop her a bit, because then for a free-to-play player, she's not an S tier, neither for a low spender. But because with a 5111 or a 5122, ideally, to be honest, you can really have a strong march. I'm gonna rank her at S. Madeline. This one is hard. I mean, okay. Madeline, I'm gonna rank her at S tier because it's probably the best infantry hero there. Plus, it's actually super universal. Like, for example, you can use her with archers, caps, or mages, and you only use one skill. Of course, it's not ideal to use with archers or mages because, like, his primary skill has a range of near, but she's super universal. Plus, it allows you to deal some damage with the infantry and gives you a huge shield, which pretty much is like you're not taking damage. And I still believe she's better than Garwood. Nika. Nika is gonna be an A above Garwood. Why? So Nika, like, is not really that strong, but his main skill applies a 30% HP debuff on the enemy, okay? And that has value for, like, infantry and for caps. So it's like a kind of like a universal hero that you can use with different marches. Like, for example, I run Alistair Nika just to apply the 30% HP debuff. So whenever my Emeries and Bakshi come in, they hit harder, okay? And again, like, it allows as your infantry to deal a bit of damage. It's pretty decent. Nico. For me, it's probably the top tier A. It synergizes super well with Kinara, has defense reduction, increasing the damage you deal to the enemy. Like, you can use, like, super solid hero, to be honest. Like, this combo is super strong. And you can use her with Gewin, okay? So yeah, A tier, not much to say. Balin, A tier. I'm probably above Nico now that I think about it. So if you're free to play, for you Balin is literally S tier, okay? The only reason he's A is because Lilia exists and Lilia is stronger than Balin. But Balin has used all seasons. He's super useful, has AoE, has a march speed reduction, you can get him from gold keys, so if you're a mage main, try to aim for Lilia Balin. If you're free to play, Lilia Waldir, even maybe if you have like Theia 5111, you can go with Theia. Yeah. Next one, Alistair. So here's the tricky part. If you manage to get 2 marches of caps, Alistair for me is an A tier. Like, let's go to the game. If we check Alistair, he's actually super strong. So you have here a 600 AoE damage with no damage reduction, so it's pretty much like a 1.2k skill damage factor, and reduces counter-attack damage, which is super good to charge into archers. Here you have 10% HP and 10% attack. 20% of stats on an epic is super strong and super good. Here comes the issue. It has a rally skill. 50% chance to increase defense by 30%. This is useless on the open field. Okay. 4th skill. When your legion has over 50% unit remaining, they get synergy and passion. Like, 2 buffs that increase hero skill damage dealt by 30% and rage accumulation speed by 30. Like, bro, it's so insane, this hero. And then the Awaken. You deal 10% more normal attack damage and take 10% less damage. Like, seriously, if they literally added here a skill that works on the open field, for me it would be a legendary hero, as this guy said, as an epic. Like, honestly, I had debates inside me between what is better, a 5111 Bakshi or an Awaken Alistair. And I still have that doubt. I probably need to do some tests, some duels with these two heroes. Because yes, the skill damage factor for one troop is not that great, but like 10% all damage reduction, 10% normal attack damage increase, 30% hero skill damage, like just bear in mind the latest, like this is so wild, the latest hero that released into the game, a legendary one, G4 hero, his fourth skill is literally only this, hero skill damage dealt plus 30%. Like for me it's so wild that like Alistair for me is just insanely strong. So yeah, for that reason it's gonna be an epic that for season 1 I'm gonna rank him above Thea and Hosk. Because I feel if you can have 2 cap marches, he is literally your best choice out there. This guy is just a no-go, to be honest. Theus, I'm gonna rank him with Thea, because you can have like an extra Celestial March with a 5/1/1/1 Thea Awaken Theus, but I don't think it should be your priority in epic terms. This guy, nah, see, Aliana, I don't really like shields. I'm gonna rank her the best C, because you can, like, it's her with Garwood is the best trading march, and maybe in season 1 you can find some value, because people don't hit as hard, but then again, like, having a 500-600 shield factor is literally one auto attack from a strong player and that shield is gone. So for me, it's a bit useless. Second epic we're having on A tier, Wayne. Super strong with Kinara, super strong with Nico, probably your bread and butter to do behemoths with as an archer player, okay? Like, if you're an archer main, you want to awaken her first from all your archers. Then we have Heroes and Gathering Heroes. Correct, B tier. I like him like more than Atheus, so if you wanna, like, if you're playing Wilderberg, you can use him with Thea for a flying archer march. And he has some AoE damage, so it's kinda unique, and I like him more than Atheus. So this will be your Gathering Engineer heroes. Those are G3s. World Eater. S tier for mages. Oh, sorry, A tier for mages. If you're free to play and you don't have Lilia, your go-to march is Welder primary, Velin secondary. Okay, double AoE, super strong march. And that's pretty much it for all the season 1 heroes. So yeah. So how I recommend you to invest, if you're a cap player, 5111 Emeries, 5111 Bakshi, then go all in Emeries while you awaken Alistair. If you're an archer main, you awaken Gwen from your epics. You try to get at least a 5111 Kinara and a 5111 Nico. Okay? If you're a mage player, if you can spend like the 12 or 14 euros to get Lilia to 5122 plus the artifact, absolutely go for it. 5122, 5131, whatever it is except the second skill is good with Belin. Okay, if your Belin, for example, is not yet 5111, you can use her in the meantime with Waldir, for example. Waldir is still strong. Infantry-wise, to be honest, they are kinda extremely weak in Season 1. So you can go with a full, like, well, not full, but like a more damage-oriented march with Madeline Nika, Madeline Garwood for a bit more tanky. And here, I just remember right now, they're missing one hero, which is Mu Xiang, an epic hero. I'm gonna rank her at A, okay, she will be here, because she's pretty universal. You can use her with Garwood for full massive tank, or you can use her to support your other marches. So yeah, that's pretty much the tier list. Let's move into the artifacts. Artifacts wise for season 1, let's start with this. Infernal Flame is literally like a season 2/3 artifact that they just let you have it in season 1 if you pay. It's absolutely insane, the damage output, synergizes perfectly with Lilia, absolute S tier artifact for mages, to be honest. Tear of Arbon, for me, in season 1, is probably a B. Why? You probably at most have this at level 1, the healing factor is not that huge, this doesn't help you really to get merits. I don't like it for season 1. For other seasons, it goes higher in value, but for season 1, I will leave it at there. Fang of Ashkari, C tier in season 1. Why? Small damage factor. It is true that it's AoE. It's true that it gives you double defense, but universally speaking, you will really want to only use this with infantry in season 1, And even then, like, you have better options. And like the issue with this artifact is that you really need to be on melee. Like maybe you need to literally throw yourself into a ball of 5 people and activate this to get the full benefit, okay? So for me, it's really not that valuable. Wolf Mask. In Season 1, B tier. What I really like about this artifact is that it gives HP on the stats, which is the strongest stat in the game. The issue is that the blink, like, it really doesn't give you any benefit on Season 1. It's a 15-second blink. After those 15 seconds it pulls you back, but in Season 1, if you literally throw this into the middle of the enemy, you're not coming back after 15 seconds. And I do believe this is a better blink. For Season 1, Storm Arrows for me are an A because they are better than the Wolf Mask in my opinion. Is there a blink to fully commit, to be honest, but at least it gives you a 15% damage increase on like your skill damage or normal attack damage, etc. So for me it's a superior blink on Season 1. So yeah, this in Season 1 is D tier. Absolute no use, to be honest. Like this with Bahorn Theia, in future seasons it will go up, but in Season 1 for me this is useless. Stuff, Season 1, D tier. Why? This artifact is OP on later seasons. So this artifact allows you to move like your legion and 5 extra that are next to you to a certain location on the map where another friendly troop is. This is super strong to mobilize huge amount of troops. The issue is in Season 1, you will most likely not have enough Staffs of the Prophet, and secondly, you will not have the coordination most likely and the amount of troops necessary to move to be impactful. So yeah, this for me on Season 1 D tier. Heart of Kamasi. For Season 1 B tier. If we're talking other seasons for an archer main, this is S tier. But this pretty much helps you if you have like 4 or 5 marches of archers, because it gives them it gives all of them attack. The issue is if you only have 1 march, I'd rather go you with, for example, Shadow Blaze, S tier for archers. AoE, huge AoE damage. I really like it more for 1 march type of fighting than Heart of Kamasi. Sorlan's Blade, A tier. 10 euros to get, so that's why it's in part A tier. Has attack and march speed, which for 1 single march I prefer it over, for example, Kingslayer, which has double attack, because that extra march speed allows you to get out of tricky situations, but the damage factor is slightly lower than Kingslayer. Kingslayer for caps in Season 1 for me is S tier. Now, I know many people look at the execute and be like, oh, I can execute marches below X amount of HP, that's wild. No, it's absolutely garbage. You're not using this artifact to execute. You are using it at the start of the fight to reduce the enemy HP, so they deal less damage. So, to be honest, the execute, absolutely useless. Like, the only reason is if you're targeting something and you execute something next to it, okay? But, like, you should not use artifacts on someone who's like 10k troops remaining, okay? Dragon Scale, S tier for infantry. If you can get this artifact, it will go with you like all the seasons in the game. Is literally like what you like to see in an infantry artifact, super strong. So those are Season 2. Look, this Ring of Ice, like, I have people crying, screaming at me, telling me it's so strong. I don't like it. It's not giving you merits. Okay, let's go to the game. I had people come at me at the comments saying these ice is just nuts and blah 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 blah. Like, I'm sorry, I don't care that you literally become immune to damage for 5 seconds. If you got yourself into such a bad position where you're literally being surrounded, like, whenever this ends, you're probably gonna end up dying anyway, okay? Plus, it's not helping you get merits. It's literally not helping you get merits, and you're using it with one of the, if not the lowest march speed unit. Like, it's cool that you reduce the enemy march speed, but like a mage that is hitting you not in melee range is still gonna fuck you up. So yeah, for me this, I'm sorry, I think it's fucking dog shit. That's my honest opinion. Like, maybe you can block a bit of a pathing, or in some situations, like, yeah, I don't know, like, I mean, maybe not pure dog shit, but I will not use this over any of the other artifacts that I'm gonna show. So yeah. The only remaining one from here that I found valuable is Magic Bomb, S tier. for mages, for me, in Season 1. This artifact is crazy good. We check Magic Bomb. It's an AoE hit that explodes after a certain time. The damage factor, to be honest, is not bad. Like, we're talking about a 1.8k damage factor, okay? Like, of course it has diffuse damage, but it's actually crazy. But there's something that it's not shown here, okay? So there's this thing in the game which is called city hopping. So pretty much like, let's say I'm fighting here. So I bring my march to this city, because if you do it on your own city, you will lose stamina. And I have my march going out, hitting, going back, hitting, going back, hitting, going back. If they throw a magic bomb to my march, I cannot retreat anymore to any city. So, like, it's the only artifact that can do that, and it really helps when you're fighting between cities to be able to kill people. Plus, it's an AoE and it has a high damage factor for an epic artifact. So for those reasons, for me, S tier. Okay, so if you're mage, pay to win, Infernal Flame. Well, I'm actually missing one artifact here, which is kinda weird, which is the Phoenix Eye. Phoenix Eye is good, okay, fair enough. Magic Bomb A tier, Phoenix Eye will be S tier. I'm gonna show in a few seconds the Phoenix Eye in the game, because I have it on my farm account, but yeah, that will be a ranking. So if you're free to play mage, use Magic Bomb until you can get the Phoenix Eye or the Infernal Flame in future seasons. If you're caps, absolutely on the Battle Pass take Sorlan's Blade, but if you get a Kingslayer, swap it for it. Blink, I wouldn't recommend using, actually this goes like this. I wouldn't recommend using Blink for one March Cavalry, because you really want the damage output of the artifact, but if you start running 2 cap marches, then it becomes like a very strong artifact. For archers, like, you have Rattle Spear, bro, this thing is missing so many artifacts now that I think about it. Rattle Spear and Shadow Blade for me are kind of like equally good, so you can go with any of the two. The only thing is Rattle Spear comes from an event that I will talk about later, which is more pay to win, so probably Shadow Blades is the most universal one. Then Dragon Scale, your best artifact for infantry. Let's talk about some artifacts that, well, like, bear in mind, this is an infantry artifact legendary. For me, this is worthless for infantry, to be honest. Like, yes, it deals some damage, but, like, I don't know, like, that Dragon Scale is so much superior to this. Like, absolutely, it will go like this. Like, on my infantry, I'd rather use Fang of Ashkari than this thingy. So, yeah. Now that I'm gonna, in the game, I want to show you a few artifacts that are not there. For example, Bloodblade Banner, completely ignore it. It's not even good when rallying, so yeah, ignore that thingy. Springbeard Feather. This is a utility artifact. It works for March Speed. Pretty much if you're not a cap player, you probably don't even want to consider using it, so ignore it. If you're a cap player, you want to use this on your 3rd cap, for example, because it gives you haste, which is March Speed, to all your legions. So you charge in, if you get into a tricky situation, you pop this and you run away with your caps. Now, another strong artifact for infantry, Deathless Vines. Pretty much stuns 3 marches in a circle, okay? It gives shelter to you and up to 2 surrounding legions, which is 20% defense, which is pretty good for an infantry main. And if you're using healing skills, like for example Garwood and Mushang, every single time you heal for a value of 600, you reduce the cooldown of the artifact. I really like it. The issue is it's mainly used for Garwood Mushang or Garwood Medellin, okay? If you don't have heals on the artifact, it kinda loses a bit of value. So yeah, let's move into my farm account. Here we have the Phoenix Eye. Oh, and I actually have the Fang of Ashkari too, but yeah. So pretty much up to 4 target AoE damage, diffuse damage, 2000 damage factor. So we can see it's slightly higher at level 1 than Magic Bomb at tier 5, but this one doesn't let you block people going to the cities. So if you have like a level 5 Magic Bomb and this, like, probably like if you're fighting between cities, I actually recommend you to play with the magic bomb. But if you're on open field or they don't have many places to hide, you can use this for that extra 200 damage factor. So yeah. Now we're gonna move into the two main events that you're gonna encounter in your game, which are the Strongest Lord and the Forge of Light. Well, the Forge of Light artifact event. Okay, Strongest Lord. Currently, I don't have it on my kingdom, but is this event here. It's pretty much the same as in Rise of Kingdoms, Age of Empires Mobile, etc., etc. So you will have 5 days. Well, in Season 1, the first SLA, first day is power up. It's not training troops, which is weird, but the standard progress is train troops, kill barbarians, gather, increase power, a summary of all of those, and then you have an extra separate Strongest Lord about killing troops for a few extra heads, okay? But to be honest, this is a whale territory. Like, this is for whales and high spenders, okay? So my recommendation from this is, if you need like a hero from Strongest Lord, try to save for that Strongest Lord. Like, for example, in my main account as a cap player, I want Theodore. I didn't get him from the Wheel of Destiny. So yeah, what I'm doing is waiting for Theodore. How I plan on getting him is hopefully get a top 25 spot, if I can of course higher, and I've been saving these speed ups for a long time. Like, I didn't push any event, I've been just hoarding, and I will literally just push with all these speed ups on the event to try, like, it's not even to get top 1 in this KVK, it's just to be able to get the hero. So yeah, you get a plan ahead. Now, the other event, Forge of Light, okay? I don't have it neither, so it's a bit of a pity, but pretty much is an event where you can use special keys, which are these ones. I recommend you every single week try to recycle enough stuff so you can buy them, okay? It's those keys. It's like, the issue with this event is you really only want to go hard on it whenever you can get 90 keys in, okay? Which is like, I don't know, like, I mean, I think every single key is 600 gems, so we're talking about 50, I don't know, like, how much would it be? Yeah, it's 600 gems per key, 90 pulls, 54,000 gems. It's absolutely crazy, okay? Because at 90 you're guaranteed to get the artifact that you want, which is the intention, okay? So again, that event where I recommend, if you're not like a massive whale, is get those keys weekly, start accumulating them, look for the artifact that you're looking for, and try to push with those keys. If you need to buy a few extra with gems, just go for it, okay? But I don't recommend really to throw 54k gems on it unless you're a massive whale. Now, I'm gonna give you some PvP tips for Season 1, okay? Because you're gonna have at least a bit of PvP, I hope, because otherwise it's gonna be boring as fuck. Okay, something I already mentioned. Your heroes needs to be always 5-1-1-1. Okay, it's not 5-1-1-1, but it needs to have the first skill at 5. You can, like, my Garwood, he's fucked up, okay? For 4-2-2 is not good. I need him 5-2-2, 5-1-1-1, for example, but the main skill needs to be to level 5. This is a mistake that many people do. If you have a legendary hero that you want to use, but it doesn't have the main skill at 5, I'm sorry, but you suck it up and you don't not increase anything else. You go, you grab an epic hero and you do PvP with the epic hero. Do not fuck up your account just because you're on a hurry to use that legendary hero, okay? That's my first PvP tip. Second PvP tip, do not use every single march you have. Use your one, at most 2 strong marches. You don't, like, me bringing like, for example, I have like, I don't know, 30k T4 infantry. Me bringing those 30k T4 infantry brings no value to the field. You will get one shot by the enemy mages, and all it will do is fill my hospital. Plus, it's gonna distract me from microing correctly my units. So again, if you're a mage main, you bring your Lilia Velin, your Belin Waldir, and that's it. You keep farming with your other marches, and you focus on getting the most out of that march, okay? That's my other tip. Next tip. Try to maximize your artifact. I recommend to not have it on autocast. There are some times that you're gonna target like a unit, which is like, I don't know, 30k troops remaining, and you're gonna cast the artifact. That's a waste, because that unit is already dead. There's another thing with mages, because of how slower they are. Like, let's say, for example, I'm targeting this unit. I activate my artifact, but these guys now start running away. If it's like, for example, a single hit, there's no problem, because it's gonna hit. But if it's, for example, the Infernal Flame, it deals 1.1k damage factor, but it casts 3 attacks. So I might hit the first one, but I'm gonna miss the other 2, losing value. So you need to bear in mind which artifact you're using, and if it's multi-hit artifact, do not use it on autocast, okay? That's pretty much the PvP tips for Season 1. Okay, I'm gonna give you one more, okay? This is something I recommend if you have a lot of fighting going on. So, if we check here, for example, let me do this one. Remove this. One T4 troop costs me 81, 81, 27. One tier 3 troop, though, costs me 41, 41, 9. Okay, so you can see a huge difference in cost. Okay, so my recommendation is, if you're having a hard fight and you have T4 and tier 3, and you really need, like, every single person in your alliance is resource healing and going hard at it, use Elixir for your tier 4, use resource healing for your tier 3. That way you're healing the most important thing and most expensive with Elixir, and not with resource healing, okay? Another tip. That's pretty much the PvP tips for Season 1, because there's not much more to go in there, okay? So, what else? Free-to-play tips that I'm gonna give you. The main one is being the strongest alliance. That's super important. Second one, manage properly your gems, okay? What do you mean by that? For example, let's say you want to be a cap main as a free-to-play. Season 1, you probably want to use your gems on speed-ups, because for Season 1, this guy only comes from Strongest Lord, okay? So you cannot get him from the wheel. And Bakshi, it does appear on the wheel, but you only want him 5111, and then just get him from the keys over time. Why? This hero has a second skill, which is awful. It only works for peacekeeping, which means no PvP. So let's say, for example, you're free to play with 10k gems and you put them on Bakshi, you get, like, I don't know, enough for 2 skills, and both skills end up here. It has no value, you just waste 10k gems. Rather than that, use some speed ups to increase your power. Another important thing, Season 1, usually you will unlock T4. So my recommendation is reach Wilder Hard level 22 with the speed ups. You're speeding up, you're participating in some events, okay? Once you're Wilder Hard 22, stop using speed ups on building. They really don't matter anymore. And you want to go all speed up generic on tech, okay? What you really want to have is the PvP tech, okay? Because maybe in Season 1 you're not gonna have that much fighting, but in Season 2 you probably will, okay? Then my recommendation is to focus on these ones, okay? Whenever you unlock the last T4, you bring this like this. 7.5 is not really that long. Like, you can probably do this in a couple days, okay? And then you start working in these ones. Why? 27 days, 16 days. It's 10 days more, but it's 2% Legion attack for every single troop type. This is giving 2% attack only for my cabs, okay? So again, you still will need to unlock this. For example, to unlock this 2%, which will take me less days than this one and this one, it requires me to have this one at 10. So I rather work on the universal for all troop type tech, okay? Now, we're reaching the end of the video. I know it's a super long one, but yeah. I'm gonna talk about spending tips, okay? On what do I recommend you spend? First of all, if you're a super low spender, for me what you need to buy is the growth fund. Like, you really want to get this. It's a lot of gems, it's 10 euros. You really want to get this thing, the monthly packs, and then the, what is it, this pass. In season 1, okay, you have two, the 10 and the 22. In season 1 you will have this for the same price as this one, so obviously buy this, but in the next season you can buy this. Haven't bought mine yet because, like, I'm not missing, well, I mean 5 heads there, but yeah, I'm just waiting to get it a bit further. Right now I'd rather spend my money on other stuff. But yeah, those 3 things for me are like like your low spender should go for those ones. Okay, now if you want to spend a bit more and there's no special event like we have right now, for example with the Dance of Blossom, I recommend you do dailies. Okay, 3 euros, you get 1.2 kgems, which is pretty huge, and then you have a chance to get like if you got the super high RNG, you could get up to 30 wellheads, but like that will never happen. The average is you're probably gonna get 5 on average. Okay, like maybe like the other day, for like first day I bought the dailies this month, for example, I got 1 Emirates. This next day I got 11, then I got 8, but today, for example, I got 2 Emirates. Okay, so at the end it kind of evens out. But yeah, pretty much that will be my spending. If you're a whale, there's nothing for you of value in this in this guide, because you probably just go to a shop and do click 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 and buy everything. I don't really recommend to buy any of these packs, to be honest. Like, yeah, I wouldn't buy this. I'd rather go with dailies. Okay, yes, this is gonna give you some more speed ups, but having strong commanders is way more important. Monthly special, like, I don't know, I still go with dailies, to be honest. Exceptions, for example, being special events, then those values are super high value, because, for example, these things we can exchange for gold heads. Okay, so they have a lot of value. But yeah, low spender, go with the 3 first I said. Medium spender, you do those 3 plus you add the dailies with the heroes you need. Let's say, for example, you're in season 1, you're a account main like me, you're not gonna have neither Baxi or Emirates for a long time. Then you can use that extra money, for example, for a special event. Or if you really want to buy some bundles, then maybe buy every single day rather than buying a lot one day of this one for the hero tokens. Like, as I said, like, these ones are good in terms of speed ups, but at the end everyone is gonna reach D5. What's gonna be the breaking point then is how strong your heroes are and how good your artifacts are. And bear in mind, you're already getting like 3 hours of speed ups daily from here, 1 hour more from here. You're getting you pretty much every single day, if you're buying the dailies, and the other ones are getting like almost a full day of speed ups per day. Okay, which is pretty nice. So yeah, that will be my spending tips for the day. Now, last thing, end of season. So after you take the dragon, every single behemoth, you will approach what is called the Brinks of War. Okay, so if you really want to go hard in this event and you are leadership of a kingdom, what you want to do is tell everyone to save their CP. CP is this thing here. You want to save all of them, so whenever Brinks of War first stage comes in, you have a lot stored for your members and they can burn it to score high. Okay, Brinks of War is a 3-stage event. First one is killing something called trolls, which are special to that event. Ideally you want a rally, that's the most efficient. CP to points scored, but yeah. Second stage is training troops. This is pretty much where it's decided who's gonna win the event, and the event gives you this buff here. Top 1 kingdom gets 3% damage dealt, top 2 gets 2%, top 3 1%, and I think top 4 gets like CP recovery or something like that. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, that will be your end of season. If you wanna know what rewards to pick for end of season, I have another video on my channel, go check it out. And now lastly, KVK2 preparation. Okay, this is gonna be a bit controversial and tricky. Okay, so if we check here, those are the pre-war events. So for season 2, you will be paired in clusters of 4 kingdoms. In this case, the next KVK2 is gonna be 617, 618, 619, 620. Okay. These red squares represent how crowded the server is. If it's full, you cannot migrate to that kingdom. Okay, if it's orange, you still can. if you were to be on 620, I personally recommend you to migrate out. Why? You're probably you're not gonna enjoy the KVK, to be honest. If you don't have a strong alliance with some couple spenders with high activity, you're gonna approach KVK, you're gonna be in a zone, and the most likelihood is you're gonna get caged. You're gonna be locked in your zone, or at most zone 2. You will barely have any fights because every time you go out of your city, you will be in a 1 versus 20 situation, you will get nuked down, and that's gonna be your it's gonna be shit experience. And sadly, it is what it is. Okay. So again, in this case, 619, you in theory cannot migrate because it's full, so it'd be looking 618 or 617. Okay, which one has let's do a bit of a scouting. For example, 616, 617. I don't know what I said. Okay, for example, 1.338 bill. I mean, 11 mil, 8 mil, 11 mil, 10 mil. Okay, 7 mil, 10 mil. Okay. So this alliance doesn't seem to have any super strong player, okay? Let's check 618. Let's check this out, for example. Wait, which alliance is this? The blue one. Okay. 1.6, we can already see. Oh, we higher. Okay, 32 mil player, so I can already tell there's a big spender. 20 mil, another spender. 80 mil, the same. Is looking better. 20 mil, looking better. So see, this, for me, this KVK... Wait, I think they have already decided the allies. 617, 617. See, this is super interesting right now. This KVK is kinda unique, and I'm gonna explain why. Okay, let me check here. Let me see, 1.9. 18. Oh my god, they have a massive fucking whale. Okay. 24, 20. 37. Oof. This is gonna be rough, to be honest. Like, the 1T5 is manageable, but yeah, when you're facing borderline 2T5s and you don't have one, it's kinda rough. Okay, so here is why it gets tricky. Okay, if I were in the situation of 620, I'd be cautious on migrating. Why? I mean, I didn't check this kingdom. The most likelihood, because 617 and 618 are allied, is that 619 and 620 are gonna be allied. If you know that 619 is gonna give you... Bro, what is this? Okay, look, if you're in 620, just run. Just run away. Like, what the fuck is this kingdom? It's absolutely dead. Like, there's literally no one. What is this? I don't know what happened in this kingdom. Okay, I'm not even gonna... Okay. This KVK is gonna be 2 versus 1. I think it's kinda balanced. Yeah, this could be an interesting kingdom to watch. If you're in 620, just leave to 618 or 617, to be honest. Like, I doubt 619 is gonna give any rewards to 620. So yeah, if you're approaching your next KVK, you need to analyze these things. In which alliance I am, how is it looking for my future KVK? I'm on a super weak kingdom, then try to migrate away. Sadly, it is how it is, okay? If you're staying in a weak kingdom, you're probably not gonna enjoy your KVK, okay? So yeah. This is gonna wrap up everything for season 1. I know I left out like few things, but I think I covered all the most important stuff. So yeah, see you in the next one.